Guys, if you don't know Carlos Prates, make sure you watch this weekend's main event because Carlos Prates is, in my opinion, one of the most dynamic, electric, exciting welterweight prospects we've had in a long time. This guy almost reminds me of like a mini Pereira. When he touches people, wow, they feel it. He has beautiful kickboxing, and his frame, his length, especially in his lower body, it just allows him to set the most beautiful knees, kicks, punches up. Wow, you can tell that he has been kickboxing for numerous years. Like, the guy is so experienced, even in MMA, coming into this fight with a record of 20-6. So he's very experienced, and honestly, he came in to the Contender Series and got himself a contract at the perfect time. Someone like Diego Lopez is another great example of someone who has reached their potential, picked up incredible experience. You know, even if they've picked up some losses along the way, these guys are tested when they get to the UFC and have a belief in their skills that is just unmatched compared to someone who's inexperienced coming into the UFC and having to build their name, having to build up their skills inside of the UFC. It's no comparison. Carlos Prates is another one of those guys. He is on. You can tell with his confidence in there, on the feet especially, the guy has so much belief in not only his abilities on the feet, but his power. He knows how dangerous he is. And that's why he has this sort of nonchalant style in there. Did you guys watch his last fight against Li Jingliang? No one had ever put the leech out before. And Carlos Prates made it look easy. The guy spent the first half of the first round just casually toying with Li. Didn't throw many punches, didn't throw many kicks, just downloading that data. At the end of the first round into the second round, once he'd found the range, he was hitting Li Jingliang with bombs. I have never seen the Leech get punched like that before. Like I said, he has the touch of death. You know, similar to Pereira, his hands, when he connects them, people just go out. Like, he has insane power for this division. And he knows how to get that power to the target. And that's what makes him so dangerous. He's also incredibly accurate with his knees to the body. His TKO against Charles Radke, that is one of the most devastating knees to the body I have ever seen. He destroyed the liver with that shot. Carlos Prates is building 3-0 now in the UFC, all finishes. Like I said, he came into the UFC via the Contender Series. He finished that off as well. The guy is riding a crazy streak. We talk about the self-belief, the belief in your abilities, and that's all just culminating in him putting together some beautiful wins in the welterweight division. He's got a veteran, though, this weekend. Neil Magny is the sort of test that he gatekeeps the top 10, top 15 beautifully, and he has done for a long time. You know, Neil Magny's a guy that's not necessarily super dangerous anywhere, but he's going to make you work for it. And he's so tough. He has the ability to hang in the fight and to turn the tides if you run out of gas or tire. So that's going to be Prates' big obstacle this weekend. But I just don't think Magny's going to be able to take the power. We talk about Neil Magny and what he brings to the octagon, but let's look at that in reverse. Has Neil Magny ever faced a striker on the level of Carlos Prates? Yes, he fought Ian Gary recently, but Ian Gary, more of a point fighter, very dynamic, good kickboxing, great skills on the feet, don't get me wrong, but the finishing instinct of Carlos Prates is different. And the power as well. Like I've said, the power this guy generates for welterweight is absolutely criminal. I think he's going to really, really hurt Magny this weekend. And if he can do that and catapult himself into the top 10, top 15, I think we should fast track this guy because, like I said, he's got all of the experience. Look at Lopez. Look what he's able to do. You know, he has got all the experience and he's bull rushed to the number one contender. So Prates, a guy who's coming out of a really, really good camp as well. The Fighting Nerds, Silva, Bajalio, these guys have killers at the moment. Mauricio Ruffi, the list goes on. They have an absolute shark tank of a room. And imagine the sort of work Prates is getting in there. Like if he's training with Bajalio, if he's training that defensive grappling with Bajalio, that anti-wrestling, what better training partner could you have? Someone who's bigger and is great at grappling. The team he comes from gives me all the confidence in the world that they're going to be preparing him to fill the holes that's needed to get to the top of the MMA division. Because, you know, again, like Pereira, no one can hang with him on the feet. And I think it's the same with Prates. Like, who is hanging with Prates on the feet at 170? The only way to beat someone like this is to mix it all up. This test that he has in Neil Magny is the perfect recipe to figure that all out. I cannot wait. This may be the worst UFC card of the whole year. It's an LFA card. It's like a PFL card almost. It is nuts. Isn't it wild how often we're saying that? But that's the model these days, you know. Althoff's 20 wins in MMA, 15 of them are by KO. So that speaks for itself. The guy knows how to put people away, and I'm super, super interested to see what he can do this weekend against Neil Magny. If you guys have not seen or heard of Carlos Prates yet, not only tune in to this fight, this main event, but go back and check out those highlights because he has some beautiful KOs. One of my most hyped up, exciting prospects of the whole game right now. So make sure you guys tune in. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really, really appreciate that. And we'll chat soon.